let's move on to the next question. Let's have a look. Okay, DNA, case, and length. So the next thing you're going to do is, let's have a think. Okay, we're going to prompt you for a DNA sequence. So that's any letters A, C, G, and T. Then we're going to print an uppercase version and then a lowercase version. So before I tell you how to do this, go and figure it out. See if you can do it. And we're also going to print the length. So there's going to be a useful function we're going to add to this, which will tell you how long a string is. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to create a new file. Yes, it's going to be, I could have done that. I sometimes prefer to do it from here. Yeah, so q2.py. Okay. And I'm going to, what have we done there? I'm going to ask the user, I'm going to define a variable called sequence. I'm going to ask for an input and please input a DNA sequence. Right. Okay. And that, if I run that, if I do Control and L on my terminal here, it will clear that. So if I just run it, it'll just ask me for this. So let's do ACTG. Okay, but nothing happens because I haven't told it to do anything else. So what I want to do is I want to print out three things. First thing I want to print out is the sequence in lowercase. So I need to convert it to lower. Then I want to do it in uppercase. And then the last thing I want to do is print out the length of the sequence. Okay. I'm going to use print statements for all of these. Print, open bracket. I'm going to do sequence. Can you guess what I'm going to do next? It's going to be a dot lower. Open bracket, close bracket. And that is a method that I can apply to the variable sequence, which has been stored as a string. Okay, so anything with a dot on it, and then something afterwards, we call that a method. Okay, and because it is essentially a function, I have to include an open bracket, close bracket afterwards. But because I don't need to feed it any additional parameters or information, there's nothing in there. Okay, if I run that again, and then do, let's do A, C, T, G. So I'll mix up my cases there. There we go. It'll print that out. Let's print out it in lowercase. Sorry, uppercase. Can you guess what that is? Yeah, you got it. And then the last thing I want to do is print out the length of the string. So there is a function called len, open bracket, that I can put my sequence into, and it will essentially count the number of characters and then print that out. Now you notice I couldn't do sequence.len. Okay, it's a slightly different way. So this is a function which I apply to the string, but these are methods that are intrinsically associated with the string. Don't worry too much about the terminology. What should happen once I run these 4 lines is I'll put in AT, CC, GG, G, 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 G. I'll put some capitals in there as well. Okay. Run that, and there we go. It's giving me a lowercase, uppercase, and there were 19 characters in there. Okay, right. I'm going to pause it there, and we're going to go take a look at the next question shortly.